Yo, what's going on, you guys? It's your boy Underrated Mages. They'll be doing a video discussing 7 craziest fairy tale moments. Now, before I get into the video, I just gotta make a quick little announcement. Not really an announcement, I just gotta ask you guys a question. Now, recently, as you guys know, Fairy Tail Dragon Cry is going to be coming out soon. I believe it comes to the States over here to the US August 16th to August 19th. Yes, the full movie, the English dub, I believe that'll be over here pretty soon. So this got me thinking, in preparation for the hype of Fairy Tail Dragon Cry, I was wondering if I should do reactions to the little clips in the little cinema. I know I just butchered that word really badly, but I'm talking about the little trailers, because to be honest, all the newer trailers that have been coming out, I haven't really seen them. So I was wondering, what I think it would be dope if I did do like a reaction to some of the trailers and stuff that was coming out. And I know you guys want me to do a reaction to the movie. I know that's a whole hour-long movie, so it'll probably be somewhere around nighttime. I'll probably do it at night, where, yeah, all I'll say is that it'll probably be like at 12 a.m. or something. But yeah, what do you guys think about the whole reaction to the trailers of Dragon Cry? Tell me if you guys want to see that. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the video. Now, when it comes to Fairy Tail, it has had its fair share of moments of the jaw-dropping moments that just made you go like, oh my god. Like, coming up with just 7 moments on this list was very hard, because Fairy Tail, it's a series that constantly throws curveballs, whether that's good or bad. I know a lot of people, they hate the curveballs that Fairy Tail throws at you, and a lot of people, they like the curveballs that Fairy Tail throws at you. But this video is with me talk about the 7 things that I found the most shocking, just the most craziest things that I've ever seen, period. So yeah, without further ado, I'm going to get into this list. But before I get into this list, I just gotta say that there's 2 things. Number 1, this list contains spoilers, heavy spoilers, and I'm not going to go too deep into spoilers, but I'm going to be mentioning moments from the manga. So yeah, if you're anime only, I don't want to say that you necessarily have to click off this video, but there will be moments that will contain spoilers. All right, there's going to be spoilers in this video. I'm gonna be honest, there's going to be spoilers in this video. And number 2, yeah, definitely do gotta say that this list, out of everything on this list, I'm not gonna try to go like too in depth. So like I said, I didn't want to spoil anime onlys. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the list. Now, coming in at number 7, I'm starting off with something light, and I know some of you guys might be upset about this, but Natsu with long hair. And I know you guys are just ready to dislike, click off the video and be like, I'm done, goodbye. But hear me out. For majority of the series, Natsu, he's always had the same look. He's always had the little spiky short hair. He's always had his typical look. You know what I'm saying? There's been a couple changes here and there with the outfits. With every arc, Hiro Mashima, he likes to give the main characters different outfits, which I think is cool, because there's a lot of series with a lot of main characters where they just stay with the same outfit over and over again. Usually it changes like one time throughout a time skip, but usually it's the same outfit over and over. But with Fairy Tail, Hiro Mashima, he likes to change up the outfits like every arc, which I found that to be very cool. However, with this time skip, Natsu came back with long, luscious hair, like he could be a model for L'Oreal. Like, yeah, this was very cool, and then this was a moment that caught me by surprise. I was like, whoa, like this is a moment that made me go like, oh my god, like it's crazy. But at the same time, it kind of did make me do that, because I was just like, whoa, Natsu with long hair, he looks way cooler, everything. Like, I just enjoyed everything about Natsu having long hair. Of course, we know that it was short-lived because he ended up cutting it, and I wish that Hiro Mashima would have made Natsu stick with the long hair, because it made him look very cool. But yeah, definitely gotta say that Natsu, seeing him with that long hair, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but maybe I'm 100% thought that it was just a crazy moment, because it was a huge change to Natsu's character the first time we ever seen something like that. Now, the next thing that I want to discuss is God Serena's introduction. Now, this is like now we're getting into like some deep stuff, but basically, if you guys don't know who God Serena is, he is the strongest wizard saint. Yes, you guys know the wizard saints, the 10 wizard saints. It was people like Jura in there, Warred, it was those type of people in there, and these guys were basically said to be the strongest out of all the mages in Fiora, which is why they're hyped up. And then we got introduced to the number 1 wizard saint, God Serena. Now, I'm not going to go too deep into spoilers, but all I'm gonna say is that his introduction was amazing. amazing. All the stuff that he ended up doing, he was a very great character. And even though his character is very controversial because of the stuff that happened to him and the stuff that he did, I still do gotta say that he is definitely one of my favorite characters, like, period. I'm not gonna lie, I like his personality. You know, he's a very goofy character. I like his design. His design is definitely the dopest design that I've seen. Like, you know, I'm gonna be honest, he is definitely top 3 when it comes to design, his personality, everything. I just love God Serena. His introduction and his role that he played in the story was dope. Now, the next thing that I'm going to discuss is Gajill's death, and I'm using air quotes with death because in the manga there was basically a moment where Gajill looked like that he was going to die, and I'm talking about like a serious moment where it looked like Gajill was going to die. And this is another thing that I want to say before I actually go deeper into like my list. I just gotta say that some of the stuff that's going to be on this list, you got to look at it from a perspective of a weekly reader. Like, a lot of things on this list are going to be me looking at it from when I was reading it weekly. Some of the things that I thought, you know, that were crazy while I was reading it weekly. Now, even though some of the stuff on this list, it has been like it's been debunked, as a weekly reader, it was some of the most craziest things ever. So that's why I'm going to have stuff like Gajill's death, and I'm using air quotes again, Gajill's death on this list, because this was Gajill. This was a Dragon Slayer. This was Natsu's rival. This was the person who was closest to Natsu besides Gray and Lucy. You know what I'm saying? Like, this was a crazy moment to see, and not to mention the fact that he unlocked a very special move. I'm not going to go too deep into spoilers, but he also had a very heart-touching moment with another character. Again, not going to go too deep into spoilers, but Gajill's death was definitely something that I saw and I was like, dang, this is really amazing. This is awesome. Now, the next thing I want to talk about, staying on the topic of death, is Igneel. And where do I start? I'm gonna be honest, this was definitely one of the saddest moments. This was the only moment in Fairy Tail where I almost cried. Like, I'm not gonna lie, the tears were in my eye. Like, if Igneel would have said one more thing that had the tear jerking, you know, personally, if it was one more thing that he said that was tear jerking, I would have just bawled out, because this is Igneel, this is Natsu, you know. And I know there was a lot of controversy. I don't know if you guys remember this, but when Igneel's death happened, there was a lot of people saying stuff like, oh, Igneel just got introduced, why should I feel bad for him? Igneel, he didn't really have character development, blah blah blah. And I'm like, what? Oh, what? You guys are completely missing the point. Igneel's death, yes, Igneel's death was very shocking, but the reason why it was sad, it wasn't because of Igneel. It's not like I was crying over Igneel. No, I was like, oh, Igneel is my favorite character. No, Igneel, he's not even in my top 10 favorite characters. It was sad because of Natsu's reaction. Natsu was the reason why it was sad, because this is him seeing his father die. It's him seeing his goal basically be shattered, because we know he wanted to meet Igneel, he wanted to talk with him, everything about it. That is everything surrounding around Natsu and Igneel, and seeing Natsu just straight up bawling out, seeing him crying, seeing him say stuff like, I just wanted to speak to you. Like, the moment was sad because of Natsu. Igneel's death, like him dying, wasn't necessarily sad, but it was Natsu's reaction, his emotion. That's what made this such impactful. And I definitely gotta say that Igneel's death, to this day, if I go back and watch it in sub, I'm just like, oh my god, like I just start, you know, I'm like, who's cutting onions? Because Natsu, he's a playful character, so to see him sad and crying like that definitely did hit me right in my feels. Now, the next one is again a manga heavy spoiler, and I'm gonna be honest, the last ones are kind of going to be manga spoilers, but again, like I said, I'm not gonna go too deep into it. But Gray turning evil. Now, for a moment in the manga, Gray was evil, and when I was reading this weekly, I was like, wow, like I was lost for words, because this is Gray. And I'm gonna be honest, Hiro Mashima, the author of Fairy Tail, he was actually writing it and he was pulling it off to a point where I was like, whoa, like this could actually, you know, he could actually be evil. And I actually believed he was evil. Now, of course, we do know that he turned out to, you know, it wasn't really him being evil, but as a weekly reader, this was amazing because he was actually fighting up against Natsu. He was using his demon slaying magic. Like, everything about this was just so hype, and I was building up and I was like, yes, this is amazing. So Gray turning evil, this was definitely a very crazy and jaw-dropping moment. Now, this one definitely had me jumping out of my, like, I didn't even know what to do with myself. But it was the reveal of Acnologia's human form. Now, Acnologia, he is my third favorite character in the series. He is so amazing. He's so cool. And the fact that he got introduced to having a human form, best believe that I was going crazy. I was like, oh my god, like I was just going crazy. If you guys remember my other channel, Underrated Games, shout out to you guys, and you guys would know that when I did my live reaction to that chapter, I was going bonkers. Like, I was going insane. That chapter, I believe it was chapter 436, was one of the craziest chapters that I've ever read. Hell, I'm gonna go ahead and say it. If this is the correct chapter, Fairy Tail chapter 436 was the craziest chapter, because not only did it have Acnologia going into his human form, it also had something else, and this something else is my number one on the list. And the number one thing on my list is Natsu and Zeref's connection. Basically, their whole past revealed. Now, I don't want to spoil it, but I'm pretty sure all you guys know about Natsu and Zeref, or at least you guys know some of the stuff about Natsu and Zeref. But all I'm going to say is that when this got revealed, when their whole connection got revealed, I was like, whoa, are you kidding me? This is crazy. Zeref basically was like the Aizen. I was like, oh my god, this is just way too crazy for me. Like, I just didn't even know what to think. Natsu and Zeref, them, I always knew they were going to be like connected, because during the whole Tenro Island arc, we saw that Natsu, everybody else who got close to Zeref, they got skunked and they got killed off. But for some reason, whenever Natsu got close to him, he was basically able to touch him, he was able to hit him. So yeah, you could definitely tell these two, they were going to have some type of connection. But when it finally got revealed, I was dumbfounded. I was at a loss of words, and this was definitely the craziest thing that I've ever seen in Fairy Tail. But overall, what do you guys think about my list? What do you guys think are the craziest things that you've seen in the Fairy Tail series? I will definitely be going through the comments and reading what you guys think, because hey, we all gonna have different things on our list, and I can't wait to see what you guys say as your craziest moments in this series. Comment what you guys see down below. Subscribe if you haven't. Peace out.